Welcome to County Connection. I'm Julie Sutor, and I'm here with Joel Cochran, the Director of Emergency Management for Summit County. We're here to talk about Summit County Alert, a way for you to get information about what's happening in our community. Welcome, Joel. Thanks for joining us today.
Great to be here.
So can you tell us, what is Summit County Alert?
Summit County Alert is the county's text and email system for notification to our public.
Okay, and so what kinds of information can people get through Summit County Alert?
Two types. We own the system primarily for warning information, right? We wanted an electronic way to communicate with our public by text and email, because we were recognizing that a lot of homeowners weren't having landline phones any longer, and so we wanted that as an option. And so warning information is probably the primary purpose for the system. But we recognize that a lot of people in the community want information off of the system, so public information. And so we offer both kinds of information. Really depends on the groups and the membership that you choose to be a part of inside the system.
Okay, so there are a lot of groups who have membership in the system, a lot of different agencies and organizations throughout the county. What are some examples of the agencies that provide information through SC Alert?
So in Summit County Alert, we allow all of the municipalities, so each of the towns, the county government, and the fire districts, as well as the school district, to participate at a user level and also a sender level. So those entities can go in and create groups, and the public can sign up into different groups to get really a customized level of information that they're interested in.
Okay, so people can really pick and choose the types of information they're interested in getting.
That's exactly how we have the system set up, so that someone who is an information junkie and wants all kinds of information all the time can be on all kinds of groups, and people can go in and be more selective if they really are just interested in their student being in the middle school and they'd like to get just information about the middle school.
Okay, great. So talking specifically about the information that Summit County government sends out through SC Alert, what are some of some specific examples of information? If I sign up for this tomorrow, what am I going to get?
Well, Summit County government sends out most of our information through our communications center. And so most of our information is actually warning information. We're sending out, we're repeating the National Weather Service warnings. Might be a wind warning or a winter storm warning. Could be a flash flood warning. We're repeating and sending out information about our local county roads and some of their statuses when they change from open to close or are restricted by a car accident. And so those are the primary information sources and reasons you're going to get a county alert. The special districts, the school, and the towns use it for a broader purpose, and they send out parent-teacher information and more public information kinds of sources. Okay,
so as far as road closures and that kind of thing, that can be really helpful for folks, especially during some of these big winter storms. When you're out and about and you're not sitting at your computer, you may have your mobile phone and you can find out if the dam road is closed, for example, during a big snowstorm.
That's exactly right, or Swan Mountain Road or any of our county roads.
Okay, and so for a while, SC Alert had included some information about the roadways and highways that are managed by CDOT. It no longer, SC Alert doesn't have that information on there anymore. So can you let people know where they can go to get information about the roadways that CDOT manages?
Yes. So a little history is important. When we put the system in place in 2008, so we've been online about 6 years, CDOT and the State Department of Transportation didn't have the presence, I guess, in the space that we're talking about, text and mobile apps, that they do today. And over the years, they've really grown into that space, and they do a great job of sending out real-time, accurate highway, interstate type of information. What we realized, our dispatch center was sending that information out, and we did that through the 2012 and 13 winter season, so through last year. We really realized that we were 20 to 40 minutes behind our messaging, because we were virtually repeating CDOT's messaging.
Right.
And so we just really thought we should get out of that business and have people move to the source where the information is coming from directly. And CDOT has a lot of great applications for that. The cotrip.org site is the best place that links to all of their devices. And you can sign up for text messaging or email messaging. You can go to their mobile app and download their mobile app. And they're really, you can go onto Twitter and as well, they have a really good space. They have just a really good presence in that space.
Right, and there is a ton of information that you can find out, like speeds and closures and really just about everything you'd want to know about what's happening on. And so remind us of the roadways in Summit County that are managed by CDOT, so folks know.
Yes, so Interstate 70 corridor, obviously,
Sure.
and Highway 9 south and north, so north to Kremling and south up through Hoosier Pass to Fairplay, and then Highway 6 up towards Loveland Pass. And so those are all state highways. Highway 91 in Leadville, headed to Leadville, is also a state highway, and so CDOT sends information about those roadways. Okay,
great. So keep in mind, if you are on some of those state highways or the interstate, that you're getting that most up-to-date information from CDOT through all the different means that they have available.
Right.
One thing that we didn't talk about, there are a lot of different devices on which you can receive information from SC Alert. So what are all the options there?
Yeah, we really can send to any mobile device. So either by email or by phone number, and we're delivering to those devices, and so we can really communicate in any of that space.
Okay, fantastic. And so we've talked a little bit about snowstorms, road closures. What are some of the other examples in which SC Alert becomes a really great tool to get in touch with folks across the county and let them know what's going on?
Well, it's a really good tool for us to notify people about police or fire activity. And, as different burn piles are happening around the county, the fire districts are sending out messages about smoke in the county and asking people not to call 911. And so that's a great public information service. And that same information might come out if there were an emergency in an area and people were being asked to evacuate. That information could go out on that system. And so we would use it for those kinds of warning purposes.
Excellent. All right, so lastly, how do people sign up for SC Alert?
It's really as simple as visiting the county's website. All of our county web pages for Summit County government have a direct link to the Summit County Alert system. And so at the click of a button, once you get to any of the Summit County web pages, you can link right over to SC Alert. If you like to type it in, then you can type it in and type in scalert.org, and you'll end up right on our website.
All right. So visit scalert.org or head to the county website and click on the link and sign up for all the information that you'd like from lots of organizations throughout the county. Thanks so much for talking with us, Joel. This has been great.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Welcome back to County Connection. Joining me now are Leslie Hall from Summit County Animal Control and Shelter and Sergeant Matthew Culver from the Breckenridge Police Department. And we're here today to talk about the Yellow Dog Project, which is a great new collaboration, a project that the county and the town of Breckenridge are working on together to keep folks and their dogs safe. Matthew, can you start off by telling us what is the Yellow Dog Project?
The Yellow Dog Project is to help owners of dogs that need space. Not all dogs can have other dogs running up to them and be friendly. They just need a little space for different reasons.
Okay.
They might have a medical condition. They might be in training. They just might not do well around dogs. And so when you see the yellow ribbon on a leash, it's just to let people know that you need to give the dog some space.
Okay, great. So Leslie, how long has this project been going on?
From what I understand, it started in 2012, and a trainer in Canada actually came up with the idea.
Okay, so this is an international
yes,
program.
Yes, it's a global program. She actually found out that apparently the people in Sweden were doing something similar to this, and she felt that not enough people were knowing about it, so she made a Facebook page and promoted it. Did it in her dog training classes and noticed that the dogs managed much better when they were given space and training. So then she thought this was such a great thing that she wanted it to go more globally and started a web page and a Facebook page.
Okay, and then how long has it been, when did it launch in Summit County?
Right after after the first of the year?
Just a few months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's brand new.
So brand new program. And so the basic idea is if your dog does need a little bit of space for whatever reason, tie a yellow ribbon onto its leash.
Yep, just like that. And actually we at the shelter, since our leashes get used quite a bit, we got some yellow duct tape and made some so they stick in place. We made some boxes, Town of Breck and the county did, that have some yellow flagging tape in it, and that we put out at businesses and that, so people could see what the project is about and grab a yellow ribbon and make their own, and or go out and buy some yellow ribbon, just anything yellow, and put it on the leash as an indicator that this is a dog that needs some extra space.
Okay, great. I know I've seen a lot of these at different businesses around, so people can grab one if they don't have a yellow ribbon or some yellow tape handy at home. How many? These are in, gosh, dozens of businesses around the county, is that right?
We're trying to get them in more businesses, and so if anyone was watching would like, we would provide these for the businesses, and the more we can get the word out, the better. And we just want to assure dog owners that having a yellow ribbon doesn't mean that you have a bad dog.
Right, it's not a stigma.
Right, exactly. This is just something to help their dogs be safe, and other dogs, unfortunately not everyone leashes their dog like they're supposed to. And some dogs might be friendly, but when you see a dog with the yellow ribbon, you need to get control of your dog. So just the more word we can get out there, the better.
Okay, and it's important to get the word out, not just to dog owners who have dogs that need some space, but also to folks who don't have any dogs at all, or who do have dogs who are friendly, so that they recognize what a yellow ribbon means.
Yeah.
Right.
Because some folks may think, oh, well, my dog's as friendly as can be, it's not a problem, but then they may run into a dog that might not react well to those interactions from other dogs. Let's see, how...
She's taking a walk. Sasha, come here. Come on, good girl. How about you sit right here? There you go.
So how has this program been working out so far with some of the dogs at the shelter, Leslie?
It's been working out well. You know, Sasha here is a dog that's up for adoption, and she is a yellow ribbon dog because she actually walks very well on leash, but she has some problems with smaller dogs, and she's a little bit dominant with them. She likes to pin small dogs, and a lot of people don't want their little dog pinned, so we put the yellow ribbon on it again as an indicator of just give her space. The other thing too is you know, it's also a warning and an indicator of using good behavior around dogs. I at times am at fault in this, and that I see a dog and I just want to go pet it. I work in dogs, I love dogs, and not all dogs want to be petted, so it's kind of an indicator of just, you know, can I pet your dog? There's a reason for that yellow ribbon. It could be because they are human aggressive or just are fearful and, you know, back away from you, that kind of thing. So it just is an indicator and a warning for people to really pay attention to that, and if you do want to pet the dog, ask about it before you go barreling into its space.
Right. Okay, so these posters and buckets of yellow ribbons are all around the county. Where else can people get information on this program?
You can come to the Breckenridge Police Department, or you can come to the Summit County Animal Shelter, and we have a bucket right out front, and we can talk to you more about it.
Okay, great. And then also people can find information about there's a national or an international website about
theyellowdogproject.com.
theyellowdogproject.com. Excellent. Yes. So if you have a dog that needs a little more space, go ahead and grab one of these yellow ribbons from anywhere around the county, or find your own, and also help spread the word to your friends and neighbors and fellow dog owners. So that has been this segment of County Connection. Join us for the next segment when we will have another dog guest joining us as we talk about the danger of spring avalanches. Welcome back to County Connection. My name is Julie Sutor, and I'm here with Mark Watson from the Summit County Sheriff's Office and Hunter Mortensen from Breckenridge Ski Patrol. And we are here today to talk about spring avalanches and what you can do to stay safe in the backcountry as temperatures get warmer. So let's see, Hunter, why don't you start off by letting us know what's going on with the snowpack as we start to move from winter into spring?
Yeah, so right now the snowpack is in a huge state of transition. We're going from very cold, very dry snow that we've been having a lot of fun with all year, and we've been lucky to have so much of it.
Right.
But the longer days, the more sunshine we're getting these days, that all that sun and that warmth and energy is being absorbed into the snowpack.
Okay.
And what that's doing is it's really getting some of the moisture that's really cold starting to percolate down through the snowpack, making it heavier, smaller. You'll see on all the ski resorts websites, the snow base is settling everywhere naturally, and that's the process that goes through from winter to spring. So it's warming up, it's getting wetter, it's getting thicker and heavier, and also shallower. And that's when it gets more stable as time goes on, but right now we're not quite there yet.
Okay, so these kinds of conditions leads to different kinds of avalanches than we typically see in the winter time.
Correct, yeah. So in the wintertime, a lot of the avalanches we're seeing, they're drier, they're colder. The snow is when you have the nice big powder clouds and the very photographic avalanches that you've seen on TV probably mostly. And now we're getting into a wet cycle where they're slower moving, they're more destructive, they're really fierce because they're just big wet masses of snow and feels like concrete moving down the mountain. Okay,
and so let's look at the big picture of avalanches. What are the factors that contribute to a human-triggered avalanche?
So to have a human-triggered, obviously an avalanche is never a problem if we're not there.
Right.
So it's decision-making, and the factors is really having the knowledge of where you're going, what you want to do, and is that slope for that particular day safe? Is there strength in the snowpack to hold you up? Is the energy so much that if something does happen, a huge avalanche is going to go? And if it does, is it going to get bigger, or is it something that's not going to cause a problem for you?
Okay. And so when these human triggered avalanches do take place, both Mark and Hunter and Tally all have a role in responding to these avalanche incidents. So, Mark, why don't you tell us about the Sheriff's Office role in responding to these kinds of situations?
Well, I'm very fortunate. I work in the Special Operations Division there in the Summit County Sheriff's Office, and I'm very fortunate to work with over 120 people involved with search rescue and avalanche rescue here in the county. So it's a big, huge team. We have 80 people in our search rescue group and approximately 40 in a rapid avalanche deployment team. And this is one here, Hunter, who, if something does happen out on the field, we can deploy Flight for Life helicopter with Tally and Hunter and an Avi Tech and get out there. They can land close to the field if it's safe and get on that field quickly, efficiently, and see if we can locate that person and save their lives.
Right.
So it's a very unique system we have here in the Summit County as well as surrounding counties nearby.
Right.
So,
and then obviously you're involved in those incidents, helping coordinate and response to those incidents, but there's a lot of training that goes on behind the scenes as well.
Boy, yeah, these guys work hard. As I said, we've got a huge group of guys constantly training. Every month they go over to Flight for Life. They do some training there, helicopter training, dog training, and then we have our avalanche beacon training, working as teams, groups of people, getting out into the field and locating beacons that will purposely hide, and actually people that will actually bury for the scenarios where someone like Tally can get out on the field and locate them. So it's really important if you're in the backcountry to have that right gear so we can locate you fast, efficient, and save you.
Right. And to give folks a sense of how big of an issue this is, tell us about how frequently you're responding to avalanche incidents.
We get a lot of skier-triggered avalanches. I'd say on average, obviously depending on the snow and the weather, but we're getting 3 to 4 skier triggers
every week minimum.
Wow.
Fortunately, a lot of people in those are not caught in them. They've triggered them. They've skied off to the side. So they've been very fortunate. Some of them were involved in them. They stayed up above the slide and they just managed to ski out. And then the unfortunate ones are when they're actually in the slide. We're called in there and hopefully to save them. Unfortunately, a lot of the times it's the recovery side of it. So
Right.
it varies, yes.
So to help reduce the number of avalanche incidents, for folks who are interested in heading out into the backcountry, what are some of the things they should be thinking about and doing far in advance of ever putting on their jacket?
I think the most important part is you have to have a knowledge of what you want to do and what you're trying to accomplish that day. If you want to go out and be outside and ski and just enjoy being where we live, you can do that any day of the ski season, anywhere, and be safe. But if you want to start having more powder runs, longer runs, steeper runs, then you have to have the education in the background. I think that starts with basic education. Summit County, we're really fortunate to have a wealth of knowledge throughout the county that's being offered up for free in a lot of different ways, or you can pay to take professional level courses. So start with education, and then you have to have the right tools when you go in the backcountry. And you have to have the beacon, a probe, and a shovel. But those do you no good if you don't have a partner with you who also knows how to use those and has them as well.
Okay.
And that's the foundation of any safe ski trip.
Okay, so good education and knowledge, the right equipment and knowledge of how to use it,
Yep.
and then a partner that you can use it with. So where are some good places that people can get started to find some of those educational resources?
The easiest place to go to is go to the Colorado Avalanche Information Center's website. They've got a wealth of knowledge of not only the daily forecast for Summit County for avalanche conditions and weather, they also have a full education page and a calendar of all the classes that are being offered, where they are, free ones all the way up to the professional level courses.
Okay. So that's a great clearinghouse.
Perfect place to go.
Right there, it's all
And
centralized.
And then you get used to using their website, which helps you then always have knowledge of avalanche conditions, weather forecasts, submitting observations if you've seen avalanches.
Right.
Very helpful.
Okay. And so when you've got those three bases covered, on the day of, when you are getting out your skis and getting your gear together and filling up your pack, what are the things, Hunter, that you do? What are you checking? What's on your checklist on the day of?
So day of, first thing, coffee. Gotta be ready. But I go onto the CIC website, check the avalanche forecast for where I want to plan on skiing. Have a plan, have a thorough plan that myself and my ski partner agree to. And then if everything weather-wise and snow stability-wise looks good for that, then we get to the field. It starts from driving there, looking around, seeing what we see, seeing if there's other avalanches happening, if there's cars in the parking lot who might be ahead of us, people coming behind us. Then we check to make sure our beacons are good and our batteries are good in our beacons and that we have them, that they work in both modes. And then also all our gear, and that somebody knows where we're going.
Okay.
So letting a friend know, telling somebody, leaving a note on the dashboard of the car that we're planning on heading up, we're going to ski this area, and we'll be back this afternoon.
Okay. And in those situations, if the worst thing does happen, then that friend can help these guys
Which
out,
is
or you.
when you need the
Yes.
cell phone as well as key tool. I
And the
forgot.
cell phone's great. I mean, it's changed a lot, but also it's battery operated. Apps nowadays, you can get a GPS in your cell phone, but you can't ever forget your GPS yourself. These are things, if you get in trouble, are very helpful for anyone involved in searching for you to know your location. So many times we have that rescue call and the person's last few words is, I've only got a little bit of cell phone. But with the apps out there nowadays, there's some great apps to help you with your travel management, traveling your friend, finding your friend,
Oh, great.
and getting things like that going. But also there are other devices there, and I just want to bring up another little device.
Yeah, let's take a look at some
Yeah,
of the
well,
toys here.
Well, I mean, the big thing is the beacons. You don't go out there without a beacon. I mean, this thing is incredible. It is so important. But if you're going to have that, you're going to have a companion, and you must have that companion who knows how to use the beacon too. Without that, then you're not going to be any help to your friend, and that's so important.
Right.
But But nowadays manufacturers, the Reco tab or reflector has been around for many years, and it's becoming more noticeable in a lot of manufacturers nowadays. They'll put them in their clothing. You can see that in this item here. You can see there's a Reco tab in here. And for rescue groups on all mountains, the ski areas carry this device, and that'll help locate that reflector. And search rescue carries that as well.
Okay.
And then even for our rapid deployment search teams, if they get on a field, if you've been in an avalanche and for some reason, like I say, you didn't have one of these or the batteries had died, they definitely can use this to assist in locating you. But I just advise everyone, if you're in the backcountry, make sure you have your beacon and you've trained with it, you know how to use it.
Right.
It's number one, it really is.
And this is not only important for the rescue itself to be as fast as possible, but it's also for your guys' safety, right? Because you're in these dangerous areas, potentially dangerous because there's obviously avalanche activity if you're there, and so the more people can do to help themselves be located, the less time you guys are in that in these spots as well.
Yeah.
I think an important part to that, Julie, is that causing an avalanche is not. There's no problems. It's not a crime. I know. You see a sheriff's officer here talking about avalanches. There's nothing illegal about backcountry skiing. There's nothing bad about causing an avalanche. What's bad is if you don't report it as soon as you can.
Okay.
Because that keeps the ski resorts, the ski patrol, the search and rescue, and the sheriff's department from having to respond to something where no one is caught.
Okay.
Because we're an extremely vigilant and aware county. That when someone sees an avalanche that wasn't there in the morning, it gets reported by somebody.
So
And
if
if we
skiing
don't
right
know,
out of there.
and if we don't know that no one's buried, we'll put volunteers in harm's way to make sure that no one's stuck in that avalanche. And the best way to stop that from happening is to report anytime you see an avalanche, you caused an avalanche, or you were in one but you're now out.
Okay. And where can people report them?
CIC, again, they've got a whole page dedicated to reporting that. You can even call the ski patrol if you're skiing out of close to one of the local ski resorts. Let them know, because we're the ones watching the backcountry the most.
Sure.
And we can pass that information along to all the right agencies.
Excellent. Okay, let's finish up by, Mark, if you could tell us maybe some of the common mistakes that you see when you're responding, or that people have made when you see these incidents.
Well, time management is a big mistake people make. I mean, we're in a beautiful county. It's a great place to be. It's a lot of fun to hang out here and get out there. And obviously we have a lot of tourists, and they're all different levels of experience. And here we're at some high altitude. So time management, if you're climbing, hiking, make sure you have that plan. Make sure you tell that friend of yours exactly where you're going. And if something is happening, it gives us time to get there and assist you. So if you are in a rescue, rescues, they're free. They don't cost anything. We have a group of volunteers here who just go out of their way to help others. It's huge. It's such a reward for everyone to get out there and help others. But the sooner we know you're in trouble, the better. Don't feel like you're imposing on us. Just get going. But then other things are just shelter, food, water, light. Having a headlamp is so important if you are running late. Getting that light out there and being able to see where you're going. Whistle, compass, map. I mean, a lot of those things you are just really important. But shelter, fire, I mean, those things, they can save your life. I mean, just having those things. But honestly, headlamps. I mean, so many times we're out there and no one has a headlamp, and it could be dark, you're stumbling, or maybe we do have some big search, you can at least signal to us.
Right.
And that whistle, you can only yell and scream so long. Having that whistle is big. So there's those essential items that I'd really supply, say, food, water, shelter, fire.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much, guys. Those are some awesome tips and great information. Folks, make sure that keep these things in mind. Go seek out those educational resources so you can stay safe this spring if you are heading into the backcountry. This is County Connection. I'm Julie Sutor. Thanks for watching.